Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds Tales podcast. We'll go back for episode 2 of the 2026 season. I want to start off the correct way. I forgot to do this last week. I do apologize. I want to start off with our verse of the week, and that will be from Psalms 25, 4 and 5. It's, "Show me your ways, O Lord, teach me your paths, guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long." Then I also want to hit our inspirational quote of the week, and it is from Mr. C.S. Lewis. It says, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." Both of those I thought were very relevant. I know we talked about it last week on our episode, and but with the HB 1396, we talked about it, what the impact could have been. Thank the good Lord above, it was defeated here in Virginia. One thing I want to say is I thought it was incredible how the hound hunting community, not only in the state, but across the entire country, came together and got behind Virginia dog hunters on this bill. How they all united, they were asking questions, getting informed, emailing, trying to make a difference. You know, it was a lot going on, and everybody in the state, of course, thank you for the ones that reached out, that took the time, emailed, called, made it trips, whatever the case may be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For the ones out of state that were reaching out and offering any kind of help that they could possibly do, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all are amazing. We got this done. I say it was defeated. I know probably some of the let me rephrase that. Some of the ones that were in support of this bill are going to correct me on this. It was tabled until next year. I've seen a lot of different things. I haven't done the research my own self to be able to tell you the correct way that this is going to be going forward, but it is tabled until next year. So we do have another year of life left, but it is possible that it would be brought back up. I think, from my understanding, it has to start completely over again, but I could be wrong on that. But we'll take that as we can get it. But big win for Virginia houndsmen and women last week, with that getting tabled until next year. Made it all the way to the Finance Committee in the Senate, and that's where it was tabled. I'm not going to waste a lot of time in this episode going over the whole bill again. If you want to hear all about it, go back to episode 1 of this season, which was episode 125. We talk about that bill and everything about it for a good little bit. I do want to mention this before we get into the episode. This is not for just Virginia. This is for houndsmen all over the country. It's time to wake up. I don't know a better way to say that. I don't know a better way to plead with anybody that's listening, plead with all hunting clubs, with all forms of dog hunting. If we do not wake up and see what's on the horizon, we're going to lose it. We'll be sitting here telling stories to our kids about how we used to dog hunt instead of taking them with us and making their own stories. Let that sink in. I want to take my son and my future kid with me hunting for the rest of my life, for the rest of their lives, whatever the case is. I want to show them why we love this sport, why we wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go listen to a bunch of dogs barking. I want to show them the passion and the drive that we have for the love of this sport. I don't know any better way to say it. Guys, if we do not wake up and change some things, adapt with times, be smart going forward, we're going to lose it, guys. We're going to. It's not a if, it's not a win. It's not an if, it's a win. Be smart going forward. Wake up, get involved. I've preached it before many a times on here. Nobody wants this to be a money thing. Everybody wants to just go out and hunt and have a good time. Of course, we all do. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to go just enjoy themselves and be old school and do that. But guess what? It's not like that no more, guys. We have to adapt. We have to do things different. Be smart. Call out the ones that are needing call out. Get rid of the bad apples. And educate yourselves. Guys, enjoy your time while we have it. Make smart decisions. Do things better. Okay? Of course, we all love to have fun. We all like to get goofy and get a little sideways sometimes. But be smart. Let's have fun, but do it the right way. Get involved. Follow your laws. Educate yourselves. Protect yourselves so that we can continue to pass this beautiful heritage on as long as possible. The world's closing in on us, and it's in 30, 40 years, we may not be able to do it anyway just because of lack of land. But for as long as we can, let's keep fighting the fight, guys. I don't know what else to say, but eyeballs are on us. These landowners that lost this battle are going to be coming back with a vengeance. They're going to be looking for every single way that they can possibly do this. It's time to really watch yourselves, guys. All right. I'm going to quit preaching. I know y'all tired of hearing it. Everybody wants this to be done. Let's get to the episode. It's a great one coming, guys. I'm very excited for this one. All right. I won't hold y'all up no more. Let's get to the episode, guys. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds Tales podcast. This is your home for field trialing and deer dog hunting. It'll be stories and discussions on the world of dog hunting. So let's drop the gate, cast your hounds, and get ready for another episode of the Hounds Tales podcast. The Hounds Tales podcast is proud to partner with Outdoor Dog Supply yet again for the 2026 year. Outdoor Dog Supply is the leader in online garment sales with their world-class trade-in programs. These guys are not just a business, they are houndsmen and women too. They test their products out there in the field and put them to the test every day during hunting season and field trial season, guys. Get the latest in garment equipment. Stay locked and ready with field trial equipment, collars, leashes, and so much more. Visit their website today at OutdoorDogSupply.com, and we want to thank Outdoor Dog Supply again for their support, not only for the podcast, but for field trials across the country, our help in fighting to keep our rights as houndsmen and women across the states. And when you're looking for your next purchase and equipment, keep Outdoor Dog Supply in mind. Now, let's get this episode going, guys. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds Tales podcast. It is the 2026 season. This will be the second episode that will be airing, but I am joined by Little Donnie and Big Donnie Price. Thank y'all for joining me, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, we'll kind of walk into this. We'll talk a little bit here in just a few minutes about why they're here, but if you're keeping up with any of the points and everything happening last year, especially with the Masters one-day option, you've probably seen GBK dragging you around a little bit. So why don't y'all introduce yourselves, man? Just tell us who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been running hounds.
My name's Little Donnie. I was born and raised in Maysville, North Carolina. Tell me your name.
My name's Donnie Price, too. I'm Big Donnie. I started running dogs back in Gibson Branch Kennels. Got started back in 96, 97. I got married in 95. Gibson Branch Kennels got named after our dirt road, Gibson Branch Branch Road in Maysville. My parents moved me out here when I was 8 years old. My dad wasn't too much into running dogs, so I started running dogs right after I got married. Started up Gibson Branch Kennels back in 96, 97. And Gibson Branch Kennels stayed running strong. We had LS Double Trouble here at our house at one time. And in 07 is when I kind of hung the reins up just for a little while.
Gotcha.
I had a daughter and a son. They wanted a motocross race, so we went into motocross racing.
All right. Now, which one's more expensive, motocross or this?
Motocross was expensive because we traveled. My daughter raced four-wheelers for a while, and then little Donnie raced dirt bikes. And we traveled up and down the coast a little bit racing. Little Donnie did. He started racing when he was 4 years old.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Very nice. So been competitive for no matter what, for at least since '96, whether it be dogs or dirt bikes or four-wheelers.
Yeah, you got that right.
So who got you? I mean, '96. I mean, so that like you said, you weren't into it from the start. From a young age. So, what got you into it? Where did that kind of passion come from? Who got you into the dogs?
I hung out with a bunch of buddies. Bobby Lassiter with High Speed Kennels. I hung out with him a lot. Me and him grew up together. I stayed at his house, and they were into dogs and hunting dogs all the time. And I went hunting with him. Me and Bobby hunted quite a bit together.
Gotcha.
And he had dogs, and then my neighbor across the street had some dogs. And I started out with beagles, beagle walkers, and ran them in, and was on the White River Hunting Club. And then I got into walkers, and I met Andrew and Sandra Hoyle probably about 3 or 4 years after I was running dogs. That's who started my dogs for a while up there in Bridgeton, North Carolina. And then 03, 04, 05, somewhere in that, I went and purchased LS Double Trouble. Andrew and Sandra Hoyle had that dog, that champion dog, and it sold it to somebody down in South Carolina. We went down there and purchased that dog and brought it back to North Carolina. And we bred that dog quite a bit, had a bunch of puppies off of that, and started field trialing.
Very nice, very nice. So what was LS Double Trouble? I've heard the name before. That's a little before my time, but I have heard the name before.
Yeah, it was Tri-State Field and Dual Champion LS Double Trouble. It was one of the dogs Andrew and Sandra Hoyle had that they had made a champion. They had traveled. I believe they had won. They got third at HGA at the Virginia State. North Georgia, they got first HGA Derby, and the combination winner when they won that. Then when that dog, a few weeks before that, he had run in a Derby hunt, and he had scored 925 points in a 2-day Derby hunt at the All-American Running Hound Classic. He got 6th HGA then. But LS Double Trouble, let's see here. My eyesight, little Donnie might be able to read it better than I can read it.
Says he was off of the Stroll, Janny, and Billy's Butterfly.
Gotcha. Okay. I got you.
Dad ended up having a puppy off of him and named Triple Trouble. He ended up winning a 2-day Derby with him.
Gotcha. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So it was a good little kickstart into getting the field trial and stuff going.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of that LS Double Trouble breedings in like your like Jimmy B and all that. If you go back and look back in the blood, there's a lot of You'll see a lot of LS Double Trouble still in the pedigrees around here.
I got you. Very nice. Very nice. So was it straight into the field trial and stuff for you, Big Donnie, or was it into the deer dogs a little bit and then kind of ventured in? How did that kind of take place?
Yeah, I was into deer dogs. We ran deer dogs, and a bunch of the boys was doing the deer field trials right before they started having that big deer series down here. The little clubs had started their little local hunts, and we started in that. But I ran at Savannah Fox Pen there in Kinston quite a bit. Then there was a pen in Goldsboro. We ran there quite a bit.
I don't think that pen's still around, is it?
No, that one ain't. No, because that was owned by what's his name? It comes up here and runs the state. Highball had that pen.
Okay.
And then I ran down at Triple B back when they had the single wide trailer, and that pen was half the size it is now.
Gotcha.
Just go down there and run quite a bit.
I got you.
Yeah, and then Cellhorns. When Cellhorns started up here, you had. I was around when they started. I helped, put up the hot wire. They had somebody come in and put the fence up with Richard Cellhorn and Philip Cellhorn, Jenny, and all them. Tammy.
Yeah, y'all can't be too far away from there. That's the same county as y'all, right?
We're at the back of the wire.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought I remember. I think I seen y'all at the at the Crystal Coast. Yeah, the 2-day, and talked to y'all for a little bit. Yeah. I remember you said you were right on the back door of it.
About 200 yards to the back of the road.
You can't ask for no better than that.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, if we don't have a radio playing and a hot wire around the top, we have to get our dogs running around the fence up there.
I believe it.
I mean,
so little Donnie, when did you get your start? Was it just a natural thing from the get-go, or did you wait a little while?
For a long time, I did not care one bit for running dogs at all.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was big into it. I didn't care. I wanted to just go do something besides sit here and watch dogs run.
You want to ride a dirt bike?
No, it was my senior year. We didn't really do a whole lot of that stuff because I was more focused on football and everything.
Gotcha.
Right in my senior year, my buddy Jason that runs with us, he was running dogs again, and he ended up convincing Dad to let's get some dogs, and I ended up going with him a few times for some hunts, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So we ended up getting that. That's when we went and bought Nikki. That's where Nikki came from. Was our first one. And we ended up getting that litter of puppies, which was Ruger. That whole litter ended up being pretty nice. We got majority of them.
Daggone right. Now, what is Nikki now? Because I tried to find it, and I probably could have dug a little extra hard, but I could not find her breed.
She came from Jeremy Bond. She's off Bond's Avenger and Bond's Little Pup.
Okay, gotcha. Very nice, very nice. I've seen it look like pretty much everything y'all got's off of Nikki.
Yeah, just about everything we got. She's a good one. I used to run her about a couple years ago. I used to run her. She's like a 55-gallon drum running around, but that first 30 minutes, there was nothing that could run with her. Nothing.
All right, guys, we're going to interrupt the episode again real quick. The Hounds Tales podcast would like to take a second and talk about our friends over at Cajun Lights. Whether you're pleasure running at night or judging nighttime field trials, put your trust in Cajun Lights, guys. With the economical Cajun Bayou for the every now and then light user, the Cajun Micro for your nighttime feeds, and trust me, that sucker comes in handy. And to the top level Cajun Blinder for the hardcore crossing getters. The Cajun Lights are headlights style lamps that free up your hands for voice recorders and your GPS. They offer flood style lights in red, amber, and a white walking light. Then the top of the line 4-level main beam light. If you're having a hard time catching crossings at night, give the Cajun Light a try. With the red and amber setting to catch the game with an easy flick of a switch, go right back to your main beam light, guys, and see your hounds in action. Visit their store today at CajunLights.com or check out. Make sure that you fill out the survey and select Hounds Tales Podcast to receive 5% off your next purchase from Cajun Lights. Guys, trust me. Tough lights. Cannot say enough good about these guys. And made in America products. Be sure to check them out. CajunLights.com. All right, I won't hold y'all up no more. Let's get back to the episode, guys. Here we go. You can't ask for better than that, though.
No, she got the heart.
Yeah. That's how my brood chip is. Yep, that's how my brood chip is. When you take her out, man, she gives you everything she got. Even though, like you said, she looks like a trash can running around out there. She's giving it all she's got.
She's definitely got it. She's been a special one to us. Very good
nice
to us.
Very good. Very good. Now, I take it. Go ahead.
I had a rabbit pen, back when I had the other dogs in 07, where I trained all my puppies here at the house. I'd start them out on rabbits. So as soon as we decided we were going to get that stud dog, I was like, Donnie, let's get a stud dog, or get a jip and have puppies. I said, and so we went and built a rabbit pen, acre and a half rabbit pen. And that's where every one of our dogs that we own, we started raised, and they all start in a rabbit pen.
Gotcha.
And sometimes the rabbits is as big as the dogs.
Y'all got them long-legged rabbits down there.
Yeah. There's been a lot of time put into these dogs. A lot.
I believe it. I believe it, man.
As soon as they come off the mom, they're getting put in front of a rabbit. They might not be moving fast, but they trying.
Hey, that builds the heart.
Yes, it does.
Y'all got something figured out. That's for daggone sure.
Well, we've been very blessed. Get good dogs, have good dogs. And we've done. It's like a couple of them said, we've done very good as far as running them in the puppy series and not running them hard enough to burn them out like some dogs are getting burnt out.
Right,
so we run them there, and then we're competitive in the derby world, and then we're competitive in in the 1-day world, and then we're competitive in the 3-day world.
Right.
We've been very blessed with that, and just like last year, we'll tell you a little bit about,
That was a long year. A lot of miles put on my truck. A lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we ran
I'm
two
sure.
different series.
Yeah, we ran that Inch-Town puppy stuff too. And we were blessed enough to win that one too, and that was a lot of traveling out there too.
Yeah. I know y'all were probably one of them hate to see it go but love to watch it leave kind of years.
Yeah, I won't be one like that again.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
But it's nice though, man, when you sit back and your dogs do good as an all-age dog, and your puppies are off of the dogs that you raised, the dogs you own, and to watch them just come up and progress as they go, and then to watch little Donnie put the heart, I mean, he sat around and studies these, the pedigrees and, what can we do here, Dad? Dad, let's try this. Come on, bud, we don't need that many more dogs. Come on, Dad, we got to have them. We got to have them.
Yeah, and that's why, there was a couple things that you said there that really, I really like kind of zoned in on. For one, you're talking about the puppies when they're ready to run the puppy hunts is, I mean, you see it so many times. People get excited and they're like, oh yeah, this dog just won a hunt. And then they're taking an 8-month-old, 9-month-old puppy 2 weeks after it just won a hunt, going right back to another pen. And it's like, all right, come on now. You got to remember these things are only 8 months, 9 months old. Like, you got to give it a little bit of break. But it sounds like y'all managed that very well to be able to carry on and stay competitive throughout all different levels of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's really tough. I mean, that goes to the quality of hound too that you're working with. That's a statement to that. You said earlier that you had gotten out and then got back in. Were you able to hold on to any of your original breeding or pick back up any of your original breeding from that break?
No, when I got out of it, and was going to go in a dirt bike race, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to get out of dogs, and my wife really didn't think I would. And one weekend, I had some boys, I lined them up, they showed up to the house. One boy showed up, he gave me half down on LS Double Trouble, made payments on it for a year. He took LS Double Trouble one way, and I had 3 other guys show up that day. Within 2 days, I got rid of 70 dogs. And the following weekend, I tore down all my dog pens but one dog pen. I left one dog pen up.
Right. 70 dogs. That's nuts.
Because I had 30-something puppies at that time.
Good gosh.
And it was just, and my wife really didn't think I would do that. But, my kids wanted to do something else at the time. And I'm not going to lie, through motocross, I was very hard on Donnie and my daughter.
I got a little 3-year-old. Yeah, I got a little 3-year-old at the house, man, and if he comes up to me and says the same thing, that'll be the day that I hang it up for a while until he decides, hey, maybe I do want to go back and run some hounds.
Oh, yeah. I got a granddaughter now, 9 months old, that she loves to see them puppies. I'm thinking, man, it's going to be nice to put you on a 4-wheeler, so it's going to be between Grandpa and Uncle Donnie here, which way she goes.
Right.
She loves them puppies. We'll take her out there at the dog pen, and the puppies be barking and stuff, and she'll just go to laughing.
I love it.
She loves it.
And that's a whole different feeling right there when them little ones start getting after them and pick up on them and enjoy them like that.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, we kind of hinted around that in a good little bit, but man, 2025 was a year for the books for y'all. That is it's just incredible. I was going back today while I was at work and on lunch, and I was trying to take some notes, and I was like, I want to see where all these dogs placed and how y'all did and how your season goes, and I never thought I was going to stop typing. I mean, good gosh. the year was just, you'd scroll 2 seconds, and then next thing you know, there it is again. There it is again. There it is again. Did y'all keep track of how many placements you had last year?
I was looking at that earlier. I typed in I kept track of the master one-day ones.
Right. That's mainly the ones I was looking at too.
Titan, I think, placing 13 of the one-days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think Ruger placing 11 of them.
Yeah. Just an insane.
Yeah,
insane year, and that doesn't even include RJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, RJ's been a good one, and I didn't start running RJ until about summertime. I
Yeah,
set
yeah,
them
yeah.
up for a while.
I mean, just insane. So for those listening that don't know that, or I don't want to skip over this fact here, is Gibson Branch Kennels was first and second in the one-day option for 2025. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. First and second. First was your champion, which would be the World Cup champion, GBK's Titan. And then second place was GBK's Ruger. We just mentioned both of those. And then I'll give the honorable mention to the GBK's RJ.
Yeah.
Sitting back there in 18th, which I say sitting back there is nothing to frown upon. And of course, all that's in the one-day option,
Yeah.
but it's still nothing to. There's one of my favorite things about the one-day option. I'll just say this real quick before we get really rolling into these dogs. Is that's what I do like so much about the one-day option. It gives that recognition to the dogs that are going to these one-day hunts that are doing super well in the first day of a multi-day hunt. It's giving these dogs the credit that they deserve versus you having to be a champion or having to do this in the standings and all that stuff, which we'll talk about it too. They did very well in the multi-day standings as well. Let's see. Let me see. Look at my notes here. So, at what point, we're going to talk about it as a whole for a second. At what point at this year were you like, oh crap, we have a chance to do something with these dogs? Like we're hitting good and these dogs ain't stopping. Like, what point were you like, all right, we got to chase this thing and we're going to get after it?
I started running. I had a bunch of puppies I run for them instant hound points. Really running that like every single weekend. We'd run the grown dogs maybe once here and there. We really didn't have them in shape by no means.
He left that up to Dad to start out with at the beginning of the year. He left that to Dad.
Yeah. But they got ran a little bit, and I knew they weren't in perfect shape, but I knew that they'd be in halfway decent shape. And Dad was dead set on taking them to the Masters hunt. The Masters at Selhorns right here.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh?
That first hunt was Triple B. The 3-day.
It was split, right? Or was that?
Huh?
Was the Masters split
No,
like that?
the Masters it was just a regular 3-day. Well,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The Masters is where we really started chasing off with the points.
Gotcha.
The Masters right here at Selhorns, I think it was like $200. I think the book was completely full. But we ended up getting just 2 numbers, and we took Ruger and Titan, and they came out with a halftime sheet, and I think we were like 100th place, maybe. I mean, we were in 3 pages back, and I told him I knew they weren't ready for that. And here comes the result. I think Titan he ended up going 4th, I think, the first day, and Ruger was 40th. And then the second day came around, Titan pulled up. He was first going out to the 3rd day, and Ruger was high dog day 2. He pulled up 7th, I think. And then there was I think 3rd day Titan ended up finishing 7th, and then Ruger ended up finishing 14th.
There you go.
3rd day.
Not too bad for some dogs in half shape.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't. I mean, they were in good shape, but they weren't in the best of shape by no means. That was a hard 3rd day. That was hard on them.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's awesome. So that was kind of the hunt that was like, all right, let's see where it goes.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
That one right there was they've always been good in the 1 days. I mean, they could do the 3 days, but the 1 days, they like them 1 day speed and drive.
All right, guys, what we're going to do here, it's me and Chip. We're going to sit down each episode, and we're going to take a few minutes to talk about each product. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the K9 Electro Boost and the K9 Punch. So this is something great for a lot of hydration needs, which is a major necessity in our side of the dog world. So, Chip, I'll kind of let you get started and let you kind of take the wheel.
I didn't know I was like Madonna, where you just need a first name without even saying who I'm with.
Excuse me, Mr.
I don't care if you call me Mr. Kozier, but we probably should say I'm with Elite Nutrition.
Elite Nutrition, you're right.
Yeah. So anyhow, so the K9 Electro Boost and the K9 Punch, and those 2 products work hand in hand together. And I'll be honest, you guys have a little bit unique of a situation just because your lack of ability to recut a dog or Your dogs aren't close. So, like, the Electric Boost is absolutely a phenomenal product. One dose of that, 20 minutes before you drop the dogs. It's going to keep them hydrated. It's going to give them energy.
Yep.
But what happens sometimes if they hit that wall in, on a bird dog world and the coon dog world, I can give them another dose.
Right.
You guys don't have that luxury. So what I've been finding is a lot of my running dog guys are using the canine punch along with the Electric Boost. That Electric Boost gives them that start coming out of the box, getting into the pen, and going and going and going. But that punch is kind of what gives them that stamina to keep going, for a longer period of time as well.
Right.
What's really nice about both those products, and we think of electrolytes. So immediately everybody thinks of Gatorade or whatever, and we do have electrolytes in there. But the reality is dogs don't burn a whole lot of electrolytes because the only place they really sweat through is their pads.
Right.
What really separates the Electric Boost and the Punch from the other products on the market is what they do is they spike the red blood cell count. When you're spiking the red blood cell count, we're keeping that dog cooler. We're getting more oxygen going to the muscles so those dogs stay cooler. I can lower the body temperature of a dog in 15 minutes with that Electric Boost.
Yep.
So it keeps them cooler, and it helps the muscles recover quicker. So my recommendation, if you got a dog that you're running a lot, either mix that canine punch in the water or on the food.
Yep.
Either way works just fine. And then use your Electric Boost right before you're putting them into the box or putting them into the pen to run hard. That combination seems to be working really good. The Electric Boost, if you do have a dog that is in heat stroke, the Electric Boost is phenomenal because one dose of that's going to be the equivalent of them drinking 4 gallons of water. We're going to be able to lower that body temperature like right now, like I said, within 15 minutes. We had a situation, LW had a situation with some bear dogs when he first started selling our stuff, where those dogs were on IVs and they were still laying there lethargic. They just got themselves worn out. They were in there treeing for like several hours and they were just worn out, and they were able to bring those dogs back with the Electric Boost. So
I've had puppies go
the punch for the stamina and the Electric Boost for right now, right out the bottle. What's your experience been with?
So I've actually taken. It's funny you mentioned the recovery part of it. I've had little puppies that, believe it or not, before that I've gone to the lots, and I don't know if they were just not the mama wasn't nursing correctly, or if they were just had a bad day or what. But I went and I had a puppy that was down, wasn't looking good, wasn't moving very much, and I gave it a little bit of Electric Boost, like about maybe 1 cc of Electric Boost. And the next day it was running around like nothing had ever happened before.
Well, that's another. Sometimes if the female gets dehydrated, we can shoot her with it too, to just kind of, sometimes when they go through that whelping process or whatever, they just don't feel well and they get off the feed. A lot of times it can be because they're dehydrated, and that will perk them right back up.
Right. And, you're talking about before a hunt. I've gone, I really put it to the test personally last year. Obviously, everybody in our sport is doing all kinds of different stuff to try and keep these dogs hydrated. And I've done, like you were talking about, 20, 30 minutes before cast. I walk through every single dog. I give them about 3 cc's right before cast of the Electric Boost. And that is a paste. If anybody that is listening that hasn't seen it before, it's a paste. It comes in a tube. Really easy to use. The tube has got a nice little screw setting to where all you got to do is just set it to the amount of cc's you want, squeeze it as hard as you can. It goes in the mouth. They don't hate it. They love it. They eat it right up. And then after the
that's the one that I have run into a dog or two that does not like it. So, but they are dogs. So if you put it on the back of their tongue and push the plunger, they don't have a choice.
That's right. But
I have run into a dog a time or two that wanted to spit it back out at me, and I just put it back on the back of their tongue to get it in there. But most dogs do love it. But every now and again, I run into one that's a pain in the butt.
Right. And I'll tell you what, I use it after I catch up too. When I get my last dog up and I put them in the pen and I pull the jackets or whatever, I pull the collars off of them. First thing I'm doing once I do that is I'm hitting them with another cc of the Electric Boost as well. And it seems to me, in my experience with it, that the dogs recover faster. And then when I do go to drip the dogs, they are ready to go a whole lot faster. And it does not take nowhere near as much drip to get them back in to where they need to be. I'm using probably half as much, IV as I was before. And then, of course, like you said with the K9 Punch, the Punch is a powder that you put in the water, or like you said, mix in the food. And that's what I'll do is I'll have a bowl of water for them. That's what they get all night long throughout the whole 3-day weekend. And then when I do go to feed, I put maybe like a quarter ounce, not much, just to put about a quarter ounce on that bowl of feed, put it along with it, and pour some water on the feed. And I'm telling you,
I was going to ask you what your application rate is to the food. I know a lot of guys are putting it on the feed.
Yep.
But the label has it labeled in the water. But so I was asking what you figured out that happy medium for you was on the feed.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I do about a quarter scoop, maybe a half ounce, something like that, half ounce, maybe a quarter ounce, something like that on the little scoops. That's about all I do with it, and nothing too crazy, especially since I'm already hitting them with the Electro Boost. I'm already hitting them with it in their water bucket, and man, I'm telling you, I've noticed we had I'm not gonna say an extremely hot hunt. I'm trying to think of what hunt it was. I think it was when I was down at Sellhorns. And I mean, it wasn't a brutally hot hunt, but it was a good warm hunt. And I noticed after about an hour after the hunt, after I had done the Electro Boost and let them get some water, and then had that K9 Punch in it, I did the old pop test on the back and did the skin, and not a single one of them had any kind of stand up. It was immediately right back to popping back to normal. So that right there was my testament, and I honestly, I think it gives the dogs a little extra boost of energy as well, like you said, with that red blood cell, and I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, doesn't it have a little bit of B12 in it as well?
Correct. It has B vitamins as the electrolytes, but there's a lot of products that have that. What separates it from everything else is spiking that red blood cell count.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think between that mix of those two things, it's just an incredible. It's probably my favorite product that I use, especially when I'm prepping for hunts. If I have somebody taking a dog to a hunt for me, I promise you, at least the Electro Boost tube is going with them.
Yep.
So, but. And like you said, one dose of it is equivalent to 2 gallons of water, 2 to 4 gallons of water, however you want to look at that. And you can definitely tell it's something that's super impressive to me. And I think if there's any product you try that you see that immediate result and that in-your-face kind of answer, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, and your application rate on the Punch, on the water, is 1 ounce to a gallon of water, so it goes a long way. The Electro Boost is 1 to 2 cc's per 20 pound of dog weight, so you're going to get multiple doses out of a tube. It's not like it's one and done where you're just blowing through it every time you make a purchase either.
Right. Yeah. But no, I think out of those two products, man, I think that's. You got anything else we can add to that while we're on them?
I think we're good on those. I mean, you mentioned for the breeding situation, that's a lot of my breeders use an Electro Boost for rehydrating pups or a mama. Yep. But no, I think you got it covered.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mr. Chip Kosher with Elite Nutrition. Got a little better that time, right?
Yeah.
And we'll get back to the episode, guys. Gotcha. So what would have been after that it was like, all right, we're hitting good. These dogs are going to do very, very well.
I think we started. Which one do you go to? Dad ended up taking them to. He turned around and took Ruger and Titan to. I think
Triple B.
Triple B there.
Okay.
I think it was the Piedmont.
Ruger, gotcha.
Yeah, the Piedmont. I think Titan was like 12th the first day. He was right there getting in. Ruger was second. He ended up running that. I think Ruger ended up. He came up short. He got third at 3-day.
Third, yeah.
Right outside the top 10. But we ran that 3-day, and then after that, we hit a bunch of 1-days.
Right.
I went to Virginia. I went to South Carolina. We've been to Georgia trying to get for these points. Get them when we can. But, I know I went to a lot of 3 days and I pulled them the first day.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people thought we were crazy for doing that.
We were sitting in the top 5, both of them at Triple B when I pulled them from there.
Yeah.
And me driving out that gate with them dogs, I didn't want to do that, but
I'm sure that would have ate me alive doing that.
I think I can't remember which one it was. I think what was it, the North Carolina State we went to. That hunt, I think it was $150. I think we were first and fourth the first day. We pulled them. He would beg me. He wanted to stay to 3 days, but I had a hunt. That hunt was on Thursday. We had another 1 day hunt at Bay Bush on Saturday, and I was going for the 1 day points. So we pulled them. I took them. I think Titan finished second Saturday, and Ruger finished like fourth or fifth.
Yep, second
got a lot
for
of
Titan and fifth for Bay. Yep, and fifth for Ruger.
Right.
Yep,
And that was the same, all in the same week.
I love it. That's which hey, if that's the game you're chasing, send it. So I mean, you just doubled up on points in one weekend.
Yeah. If you're gonna go for them 1 day points, you got to go for it.
Right. Right.
You really do.
That's awesome. I love it. So, at that point, I mean, right there, I mean, there's three, 4 placements that's right off the rip, just starting to be year. It's like, all right, now we got a chance at this. Like, this has the potential to be a good year.
Yeah.
So, let's go to Titan. I want to start with Titan. We'll start with the big dog first. I guess you can say the big dog. The winner of the 1 day option and the 2025 World Cup field champion.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's just a year. For one, the World Cup is the way it was laid out was just that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Switching pins like that. I mean, I don't care if you live I don't care if it is in your back door. Switching pins like that and having a dog that goes out there and does it in both pins and can bring home the win. That's just insane. I know y'all led the first day. He was the first in the 1 day option at the World Cup. Did he lead all 3 days?
He was second the second day.
Second day.
He did like overall he led it all 3 days. But for that,
Gotcha.
The second day, high dog wise, he was second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
He led the hunt all 3 days.
He did led all 3 days. He was high dog day 1 and day 3.
That's awesome.
It was a blessing, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The first day of the World Cup, that was really a blessing for the master points. I think I think they were about $180 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we took 5 and 4 was in top 10.
That's crazy.
It was. I think
that's nuts.
Titan was first. I think RJ was 4th. Ruger was 7th, and then Hammer Time was 10th. Hammer Time, he didn't get ran in like 3 months before that hunt. I just took him because the Tinkerbell dog came in heat. His tail was chewed slam off. We put a bob his tail and he chewed behind the band.
Good God.
It ran all 3 days like that, not in shape, nothing.
That's tough.
He's
can't ask for better than that.
He's really tough.
I love it. So let's kick it back a little ways now. That's a champion bond for Little Jack and GBK's Nikki. Obviously, Nikki we've talked about earlier. What was the idea about that cross with Little Jack and Nikki?
See, I remember this. We were there's a place called Burrito Shack we were about to go eat at, and we were talking about what we were going to go breed to. She's about to, and we were going to go breed to Kennedy's 8-ball, but he had somebody else come to breed to him that day. And then Dad called Vaden and asked him, "What's the fastest dog you got we could breed to?" And that's when he said Little Jack. So that's what we ended up going and breed to. That's exactly how that worked.
That's awesome.
He named it. He said he had the fastest one. I said, "Well, I'm on my way." He said, "For real?" I said, "Yeah, I'm on my way right now."
Here we come. Hope you're ready.
It worked out. I guess it was the fastest one.
Yeah, it worked. That's an egg on shore.
Yeah.
Now, how old is Titan now?
Titan, he turns 4 in May.
See, that's another just statement right there.
Yep.
I mean, that's a 3-year-old having that kind of year. That's beginning. You hear about dogs, 10, 15 years ago that were doing that. 3 years old, 4 years old, still out there being competitive. But for a 3-year-old dog in today's time, like y'all talked about, there's so many people when they get a young dog that's doing well, it's doing competitive, and they just hunt, and by 3 years old, 4 years old, they're burned out. They're done, they're cooked, there's nothing left for them to give you. But for a 3-year-old dog to still be able to dig in and still do what y'all are doing, and heck, it's in 4 months he'll be 4, so or 3-4 months, whatever it is.
He was also puppy hunted. Now, people say that, but he was puppy hunted. He puppy hunted.
He got puppy hunted every weekend. He's the reason we got a lima bean number. That big
no kidding.
Yeah, they had Will finally put on a hunt. Everybody kept wanting a lima bean number. They finally put on a hunt. If you won the hunt, you got a lima bean number. We were blessed enough to win the hunt, so he ended up getting one.
So he's been good to y'all from the start then.
Yeah, and then we put a bunch of money on him in the Calcutta, and we went to the hunt, and he bayed up the whole time.
Oh, they were shaking him out of barrels.
Had a good time, but the results weren't so good.
I was going to say, that ain't putting points on the board.
No, by no means.
Oh, my gosh. So, I guess for him to stick around, he must have had obviously after the lima bean, he must have had a pretty good career as far as the puppy hunting goes and on into Derby.
He's always, if you take him to a hunt, he's going to be in the mix. That's for sure. He's always been, he's smart. He's a smart dog, all around good dog. I can run him in a hunt, turn around and take him to the deer woods, and he'll go in the woods and jump a deer and run a deer just as good as he will a coyote.
No kidding.
He can run the wheels off a deer.
How's he do on fox?
He does the same thing on a fox.
Same on fox? Yeah. I figured if he's running a deer like that, he's got to be a good fox dog, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. You're looking for dog hunting apparel to rock to your next event? Visit dogtight.com and check out the lines of shirts, hoodies, and hats, just like this one up here on my head that I'm wearing right now. With looks that fit our style, comfort that is unmatched, and supporting another houndsman as well, get your Dog Tight swag today and use the discount code HoundstAles15. That's HOUNDSTALES and the number 15 at the end to get 15% off your order. Now, let's finish up this episode, guys. I promise, right here at the end of it. Thanks, y'all, for holding on tight with me. That's awesome. So, I guess from a young age then, you could say you kind of had a feeling about this dog. You knew something was coming from him, and that was going to be the dog to keep.
He's always been good. I had his sister. Her name was Lulu. I took her first 10 hunts. She got her name called in all 10 of them. Right. A boy from Delaware ended up coming buying her the outside.
No way.
The outside hunt her, and he loves her on the outside.
Interesting. What a random place to have a dog go.
Yeah, and he had another sister. We were out there at the dog pen, and I went out there to go check on him, and I guess a spider ended up getting her, and we ended up having to take her to the vet, and she was a one-eyed Willie, and she could fly. She was little too, and had one eye, and she had knees, man. Yeah, and she had the wheels.
That's awesome.
that was a good litter too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounded like it was pretty competitive little litter.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many did y'all keep just tighten out of that litter?
Well, I had all of them. I puppy hunted majority of them. Mm-hmm. I know there's one boy. He's got one. He's bred her already, and there's puppies been placing quite a bit.
Gotcha.
From South Carolina to here.
Right.
But right now, we just got tightened.
I got you. Yeah, that's how you do. Me and the guys in my kennel were talking about the other day. I was like, I got 5 competitive dogs right now. They're all kind of mixed up, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then next year, by the end of this year, I got 6 more puppies coming up, and I'll drop down back to 4 or 5 by the end of the year.
Yep.
You got to cycle them. As bad as that sounds, you got to move.
You definitely will get rid of some good ones.
You said you drop that down to 4 or 5.
I probably will. Yep.
That's about what we need to do.
Yeah. I'm not hitting it quite as hard as y'all guys are, so 4 or 5 is about all I need. How many y'all gonna be ended up with? How many y'all sitting on right now?
We got a bunch of puppies. I think running grown dogs like a year and older, we probably got like 12 or 14, but that's including brood gyps. It's not a
Gotcha.
whole lot, but like a year and younger, we probably got 25, 30. I mean, it's up there.
Yeah.
We got a bunch in different ages.
Hey, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You're setting yourself up for another busy year.
Yeah.
I could open the house door right now. You probably hear them barking out there.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Most of the time when we got a radio, we play out there all night, and that radio
Yeah.
keeps them
Trying to
calm
keep
down.
them quiet.
Yeah, I know, that's a
Yeah.
pretty good way.
I love it. I love it. So, I want to hear a little bit, about where was, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when Titan was probably leading or very, very close to leading the one-day option before the World Cup, correct?
Yeah, he was lead right before the World Cup. We were first and second going in, but
That's what I thought.
I think he was Richardson's nosy dog.
Yeah.
And then Gaps, it was like nosy, Gap Sauce,
Yep.
and then Dallas Torch, Skeeter dog. They were all neck
Right.
and neck for the most part. Titan had a little lead, but Ruger and all them, I mean, it was they were going to pass each other. It was
Right.
very tight.
I thought it was really tight. I thought I remember seeing that it was super tight in the one-day option there up towards the top for a little while. So
It was a race to the end. We all seen it. All of us were at every single hunt together. Every single hunt. especially when all of us drove down to Swainsboro for that hunt.
right.
That was a ride. Me and him. I got off of work at 5 o'clock, and he came and he drove my truck to pick me up, and
Right.
we went down there. We got down there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. We slept in the truck. I think casted the dogs. Got the results out at like 3:30.
Yeah.
I think both boys were right. I think Ruger ended up getting like 35th. Titan was like 40th. They were right there in the top 40.
Right.
But loaded up, came back. I think we got back at the house at 12.
Oof.
It was like one day. Did that drop?
That hurts.
Yeah, We got our butt smoked. We did.
Yeah. That's a long ride back home
Yeah,
after
yes,
that.
yes, it is. But that's how it is. You ain't always gonna be on
Yeah,
top.
that's it. That's it. Hey,
Listen.
I remember going down Sailhorns. It's like 4.5 hours for me, and we drove down there with a handful of dogs and took tail all the way back home after that one. So it was rough. I know what you mean.
We've definitely got smoked quite a bit. There's been some good, we've had good hunts, but we've came back pretty sad sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It definitely is.
So
It takes a very good dog, but a lot of luck at the same time.
that's right. That's right. So what was that feeling like at the one day after hearing that name called out? I mean, obviously, we'll get to Ruger here in a little bit too, but Ruger was, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, he was 7th in the World Cup one day option.
Yes, sir.
Is what I'm seeing. And so that right there, you probably thought, all right, well, that might have sealed the deal right there for him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that was already, excitement was building and ready to go, and then it keeps getting further and further, and you're waiting on Titan, man. What was that feeling like when Titan got called out at first?
Relief. I didn't care which one won it, but I wanted one of them to win it. That's for sure.
Right.
I had the points calculated. I knew about what they needed to do when they called it
Oh, yeah.
out.
I
It
figured
was
you
tight.
probably did.
Yeah, it was tight.
I can imagine, man.
So there were some very, very nice dogs we ran against. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a class. That's a class.
Yes.
I mean, like you talked about, you had Gap Sauce and a couple of other dogs in there. I mean, heck, every time you turn around, you see BB's Gap Sauce policing
Yes,
somewhere.
that's one
a
of the
fine
nicest.
dog.
That's one of the nicest jips we've seen ran.
Right. That's a
No
nice
matter where
dog.
he puts her on the ground, she gets her name called.
Right. Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of watching her myself, but the results speak for itself. And
It'll definitely make you open your eyes and look at it.
I'm sure.
She got a set of wheels on her.
Yeah, I believe it.
She was moving through Sailhorns.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. So I mean that right there. That's a double whammy of just a year full of working and trying and getting after it. Just like you said, I'm sure it was a major sigh of relief once it was over.
Very.
All right, guys, another quick break real quick. The Hounds Tales podcast is proud to partner again with Low 10 Outfitters. If your kennel is looking for new apparel to rock to the next field trial, look no further than Low 10 Outfitters. They offer shirts, hats, hoodies, coats, and other accessories with custom logos for your kennel or your hound on it to go with it. With top quality merchandise and long-lasting quality, you can't go wrong with Low 10 Outfitters. And very soon, actually right now, we are offering Hounds Tales Podcast apparel on their website at low10outfitters.com. So please go by and check it out. There's a whole section in there under in one of the tabs as for the Hounds Tales Podcast. Get shirts, hats. We're talking about maybe adding some other stuff, but need to see if we can get some movement on the shirts and hats to start. But also, if you're looking for trophies for your next field trial, be sure to check Low 10 Outfitters out as well. So these guys have been great to deal with. Mr. Gonzalez and them, they do a great job, fast turnaround, top quality equipment, and you just can't ask for better, guys. I want to thank them again for coming on board with the Hounds Tales podcast, and I won't hold you all up anymore again. Let's get y'all back to your episode, guys.
Everybody, all my buddies kept coming up to me asking if I was going to run the 3-day stuff. I kept telling them I didn't care one bit about that 3-day stuff until that match day one. I was going for the 1-day stuff, and that's it. I wanted nothing to do about second or third day. They were asking me what time we were getting there the second day and stuff. I said, I do not care.
Right. And the good thing, what's crazy is to think about, I mean, and of course it's a hindsight 2020. You never know how all these hunts are going to go, but I'd be curious to see how many hunts, how they would have done in all those 3 days that y'all went to, that you were sitting good after day one, Yeah. I'd have loved to seen some kind of results there.
Yeah, we sat good. I took Titan at Foxtail. He was third at the East Coast Masters the first day, and they were all joking me. All the boys up there at the house was messing with me, asking me where I was going to go on Saturday to go run. I didn't have no hunt, but they were just messing with me about going up there. That hunt, I needed the points real bad. I was mad at him. He heard my alarm go off. I slept right through it, and he was asking me, "Ain't you got somewhere to go?" I was like, "Yeah."
He went running out the house. I think he had his shorts in one hand. He was in his underwear, his shoes in the other.
That 2-hour drive, I made that in probably an hour and a half.
You had to do some digging on that one.
Yes. It worked out, too, though. At least we got their name called. But
that would have been one of them real bad ones. You got up there and not done anything.
I don't ever oversleep like that.
That cop would have never known what to thought. They'd have come up that truck. He was in his underwear driving that truck. Trying to get there. I got to have my dog somewhere. I got to go.
God, that's funny.
Yeah.
So where did he end up in? I know you didn't finish a lot of them with him, but I think you still ended up sitting pretty good in the multi-day Hound of the Year, right?
Yeah. If I calculated it right, I think he can be top 10, but I know it was top 15 for sure.
Gotcha.
But I tried to calculate it, but you know how that is. Sometimes it'll change.
Right.
I think top 10 is what I had. What I had originally was like 7th, somewhere around there.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's those points are so hard to follow. It
is.
Hard to keep
I know he'll be top 15 for sure because I know he got a lot with the World Cup because that should be maxing out.
Yeah, I would say that should be everything you want right there. Yeah. But let's see here. Yep, that's so. Let's talk about Ruger. P2. It's funny. You always hear people talk about. Of course, these aren't the same litter, but you always hear people talk about. If I didn't have this dog, everybody would know this dog's name. Now everybody's going to know Ruger. I think y'all. There's already breedings off Ruger, which I have questions about. So, people always are like, yeah, if this dog wouldn't have been here, you'd know who this dog is. And, Ruger's just sitting there right behind him. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, what's funny, though, is it's crazy. As going back looking, and a lot of times Ruger seemed to be in front of Titan a lot. He's got a, how is Ruger? Is he just as good? What do you think about that dog compared to Titan?
When I free run, it's always a race with them too.
Yeah,
it's always a race. They always fighting to get the front between both of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. Ruger's won a lot more hunts than Titan, but Titan's always going to be in the top 10. That's what helps Titan out. Titan's always there. Ruger's won a little bit more hunts.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, just going back last year looking, I was like, well, there's Ruger won again. Ruger won again. I'm like, good God, why is this dog not first?
Yeah, Ruger's getting some age on him, though. He turns 5 this year.
That was my follow-up question. That dog's got to have some age on him.
He's had some miles put on him. He's still ready to go. I ran him the other day, and he was looking real good.
Gotcha. So I may have made a typo, but I wanted to ask. I got it. Is it GBKs? Is it y'all's breeding Ray Charles? Y'all's Ray Charles?
No, it's CBKs, Ray Charles.
CBKs. Okay, I thought it was. I had that typed out right, and I was wanting to make sure. What is? Just refresh me here. I'm having an absolute brain fart.
Ray Charles, there ain't really been many breedings off of him. He really, from what I know, he really weren't much of a pin dog. He was more of a deer trial dog. He placed in a lot of deer trials. He's got good breedings though. He was off of White Lightning Ray and M&S Dolly.
Okay, yeah. I got you.
He was bred good.
Gotcha. And whose dog is that?
It was Chris Young, Crybaby Kennels is who it was, but I think somebody else has him now.
Gotcha. Very nice. Yeah, I was very curious because there is breeding Ruger out there. I see y'all joking on Facebook all the time. The old stud dog out there.
It is.
So the dog is almost 5 or is 5?
He turns 5 this year. He turns 5 in September.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. So definitely getting some age on him. Like you said, just another testament to how y'all are running, the strength and quality of the dogs. It's a hats off to y'all. It's an awesome thing that you just don't see much of anymore is quote unquote older dogs competing at the levels that y'all are competing at. Hats off to y'all guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to cut it off right there for this episode. We're going to split this thing in half. I know some people hate it when I do that, but got to make an effort when I can and try to extend these things out a little bit. Got to keep y'all around for a little bit. But now we're going to cut it off for this episode. Let me know what y'all think about the Elite Nutrition section there. I know it's kind of a weird little thing of breaking it up in the middle. It's a little test that I'm trying to do, trying to play around with it. Maybe I need to put it at the beginning of the episode or do something a little different. But we'd like some feedback on that if you are listening, and make it all the way to the end here. Definitely wouldn't mind a little feedback. So if you don't mind, shoot me some feedback on that, and we'll finish up the rest of this episode, with Big Donnie and Little Donnie Price and GBK Kennels. So congratulations again to those guys, and we'll finish it up next week. All right, guys, like always, thank y'all for listening so much, and like always, guys, happy hunting.